So today I'm going to try and do a comparison between a Yeti Tundra 35, which is like £250, and a Costway cooler, which I bought off Amazon for like £90. Now I bought this Yeti off a friend of mine a couple of weeks back, who said, take my Yeti on a camping trip with you, it's brilliant, keeps your ice cool keeps everything cool for like a week or something. I went, oh, that sounds great, I'll try that. And I have to say I was really impressed with it. But I thought to myself, can I actually justify spending £250 on a cooler? So I went online, and it was amazing that there's a whole world out there, isn't there, of these coolers, mostly in American videos, but I haven't seen that many in the UK. But anyway, I decided that, you know what, maybe I can get a £90 cooler to do a similar job. May not be as good, but will it be good enough for me? Since I've got these two here now, I'm going to do a comparison for you. So I've got a couple of ice blocks there. Now I know I know on all the other videos, and everybody does it this way, they fill it up with ice, but I know this isn't going to be the most scientific method of doing this. It's not going to line up with what the manufacturers have done, but anyway, I can do a back-to-back comparison, and that's fine. So I've got a similar amount of ice blocks, which I'm going to put in each. And then I'm going to use these data logging temperature monitors, or data loggers, to log the temperature for the next few days. These things are great. So they're both set at, well, they're both measuring 18 degrees at the moment, and they've been going for a couple of hours now. So I'm gonna get these with the ice blocks, put them in each of them, and then I'm gonna store them in the shed, and I'll show you that in a bit. I'm gonna store them out of the sun, out of direct light, in the shed for a couple of days. And I think I'll open them once or twice a day, maybe not, I don't know. There, I'll show you them when they're in the shed. So here we go, they're in the shed now, in the shade. Now obviously look at the size difference here. I think they're similar in sort of volume inside. I think the Costway is a little bit more, but I'm not going to talk about build quality too much, because obviously the Tundra is going to be better. You can feel that. It's a lot thicker foam. I mean, some people are cutting these things in half to show you what's inside them. I'm not going to be cutting any of these in half, so this is like a it's not a complete video, you know. Some people have done some really good trials of these, but I just want to show you where they are. So the ice and the the temperature data loggers are now inside those, and that's where they're going to stay for a few days. And hopefully we'll see that the cheaper one doesn't do that bad of a job, so then I don't have to spend an extra £150 or whatever it is on getting a Yeti, because I really like the Yeti. Okay. Alright, so it's been a few days. I can't actually remember whether I put the ice in on Thursday or Friday. I'll find out on the data. But today is Monday. So let's see how... So they've been in at least, what was it, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So they've been in at least 4 days or 5 days. Let's have a look at the cheaper Costway one. So the handles aren't as good, obviously. Let's see what we've got in here then. Do we have ice? Well, I would say no. This feels fairly warm inside here. We have definitely water. Yeah, there's water in all of them. So they've completely melted within a few days, within 4 days, which is alright. I was kind of expecting that. Let's have a look at the Tundra. Take that out. What do we have here? Again, it's just water, but they feel a lot colder actually, even though it is water now. It definitely melted. They do feel colder. Well, they feel a lot colder. Like it actually feels like a fridge. I can just feel just by putting my hand in them. There's a big difference. But anyway, doesn't matter what I feel. Let's take the data from these two recorders here, and let's have a look at the computer, at the trends. So here we have it. This is the results you see on screen from the Yeti Tundra versus the Costway cooler. I've taken the data that I got here from the two data loggers and put them on a graph. Oh, not that. Put them on a graph. And what we got here is temperature. So I should probably write that in, shouldn't I? In degrees Celsius. And on the bottom here, on the y-axis, on the x-axis, we have just numbers. So this corresponds to a particular reading. I couldn't get them to be bang on with each other because actually I was doing reading every 15 minutes, and the data was 15 minutes out for both of them because one of them had started slightly sooner than the other. But it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter. Here's the comparison. So I put them in the cool box around about 4 p.m. on the 28th of June, 28th of the 6th. Now it took till about 8 p.m. for both of these coolers to cool down to below 8 degrees Celsius. And I'm using 8 degrees Celsius as the benchmark here because I've read that is the safe sort of limit for keeping food for a long time, below 8 degrees Celsius. So after about 4 hours, we got to below 8 degrees Celsius. Then look what happened. By the way, the blue is the Tundra and the orange is the Costway. So as we got down to about 1:30 a.m, the Tundra got down to its lowest temperature, which is at 1:30 a.m, which is 4.9 degrees Celsius. But the Costway went even lower. It went down to 4.1 degrees Celsius. And it actually stayed lower throughout the whole of the next day. So at 11:30 p.m. on the 29th, the Costway was actually holding a lower temperature than the Tundra, which I did not expect. It was only until about 10 a.m. on the 30th where the Tundra held a lower temperature than the Costway. So at 10 a.m. on the 30th, we found that the Costway started to raise in temperature above the Tundra, and it continued to do so then. So 11:30 p.m. on the 30th, the Tundra was 7.8 degrees Celsius and the Costway was 8 degrees Celsius. Okay, so that's the 29th to the 28th to 29th is one day, and then the 29th to 30th then another day. So we're about 2 days in here, something like that, 1.5 to 2 days in. But anyway, the Costway then diverged even bigger, and the temperature rose and rose and rose past this limit of 8 degrees. And finally, we opened the box here at the end, which was 12:30 p.m. on the 1st of June, 2000. And it can't be the 1st of June. That must be the 1st of July. Sorry, this is wrong. This is the 1st of July. Let me change that. Okay, we're back. Yes, the 1st of July, sorry. So what is this showing me? This is the hardest part. Okay, I've got this graph. What is it actually showing me? Well, I think probably what it's showing me is that the Tundra, I wish, by the way, I'd had an outdoor temperature or an ambient temperature reading in the shed. Because what it's probably showing me is that the Tundra is less affected by the influence of the environment around it, whereas the Costway is probably more affected. I think it could also be showing me that the Costway is better. But the fact it diverged here at 10 a.m. and the Tundra sort of held its temperature lower, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's difficult to say, but I can tell you this. I'm going to keep the Costway. From this data, I'm going to keep the Costway because actually they both underperformed to what they said they would do, which is like 5 days holding ice, and they didn't. And there wasn't a massive difference between both of these products in terms of performance, but there was in terms of price. And really, what I'm looking at here is I'm looking at going away for long weekends. Sort of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's 3 days, isn't it? So, providing I might top up the cool box in the middle of that trip, I should be fine.
with a cheaper cost-way cool box, I don't think I need the Yeti Tundra. And if I did, if I was, I should say that, if I was going to go away for longer, I just keep on topping up the cost-way cooler. So based on all of that, I would say that it's probably worth buying a cost-way cooler, for me anyway, and not having a Tundra. But let me know what you think. Okay.